just send it to the FFL dealer of your choice. You can pick it up at the gun show. You can pick it up at the local sporting goods store. Whatever you do, get your head down firearm today. The spirit of 1776 lives at Head Down Firearms. hdfirearms.com.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
You want to stop tyranny?
You want to stop tyranny? Well, so does he. Live from the Infowars.com studios, it's Alex Jones.
It's over the top as usual, but only intensifying. If it was a graph, the incredible over-the-top globalist crimes that are being committed would be going up, straight up, in a parabolic curve. Thank you so much for joining us on this live Sunday, the 31st day of May, 2015. We're just about to be halfway through 2015, 2016, and beyond. I saw some emails and some comments on Thursday and Friday at Infowars.com with trolls saying, you better watch it, claiming Hastard's a pedophile, you crazy conspiracy theorist. None of the media is saying why he was paying somebody allegedly to hush him up. Really, we had an investigative journalist on who documented it and said that they were basically blackmailing him. That's why he was chosen as a wrestling coach to suddenly be run for the State House and then into the House of Representatives and then be made Speaker of the House, even though his tenure was incredibly junior. And now The Hill is talking about Dennis Hastard's weird call from 2014 on C-SPAN when somebody called in and said, remember me, Denny? Well, everybody can eat crow yet again. Here it is in the precious New York Times. Yorkville, where Hastard's taught, is shaken by charges for Denny. Former House Speaker Dennis Hastard accused of hiding sex abuse of former student. You better believe it's students. And this guy is in the club, folks, the Sandusky Club, like the rest of the Republican leadership. Hastert, star wrestler, standing behind indicted mentor, though, so everything's okay. Here's the headline out of CNN. Hastard's hush money was to cover up sexual misconduct with former student, sources say. As if it took the media 3-4 days to figure this out. They all know. Notice Rand Paul is one of the only Republicans saying he won't go along with the Patriot Act, NSA spying. He's set to filibuster tonight. We're going to break all that down today. And that's because I'll guarantee you the worst he's got in his closet is taking hot chicks down to the river as a college student and smoking pot with them and talking about Aqua Buddha. That's it. Smoking pot and taking out cheerleaders. That's all you got. Take the marijuana out of the equation. He's a man after my own heart. But it's just classic. And you add in the wild turkey into the equation in college, and now you're where I was at. And I'm not even defending any of that. It's just they have gone over his record with a fine-tooth comb and can't find anything. And that's why I'm telling you, Rand Paul is the guy. And he's being demonized in the media today from Fox News to CNN because he is good. And that's where I stand on that front. We've got O'Malley announcing that he's going to run against Hillary. Hope he doesn't get on any airplanes soon. But he may just be a ringer, though. So we're going to obviously follow that. He says that leadership is what he's going to bring. How about the Constitution? That'd be nice. Now, that said, we've got 1 minute to break. I haven't even gotten into the news that's here. The other meme I see from the trolls is, where's the gun control, Alex? Nobody wants your guns. Where's the death panels, Alex? Where's the increasing Obamacare prices? Oh, it's even in Politico today that the prices are exploding under Obamacare. Where's the NSA spying? Oh, I guess it is there. Oh, where's the license plate readers? Oh, I guess it is there. Where's the fluoride causing cancer? Oh, I guess they admit that now. Where's the government funding Al-Qaeda? Oh, it was declassified last week. It was leaked last week. to Judicial Watch that the government runs Al-Qaeda, runs ISIS, is protecting them. I'm right. I'm proven correct over and over again. Just because what we're covering hides in plain view. But here it is. Administration preps new gun regulations. The Hill, upwards of 20 different gun grabs coming by executive order. Stroke of the pen, law of the land, kind of cool, Bagala said. It's all coming up.
Introducing Secret 12, the new Infowars Life vitamin B12 formulation. Secret 12 is a binary of nutramedical grade, bioavailable coenzyme forms of B12, methylcobalamin, the same kind used in B12 injections, and adenosylcobalamin. Secret 12 is simply taken by mouth, right on the tongue, and then swallowed. No needles, no injections. Secure your revolutionary Secret 12 formula right now at InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139. Alex Jones here. For the last 2 years, I've been working with top doctors, nutritionists, and chemists to design a nutraceutical formulation that has truly life-changing health benefits. Introducing the all-new Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Blend. Experience the benefits of combining over 14 ancient herbs and extracts with exciting new advances in nutraceutical science. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139. That's InfoWarsLife.com.
It was easier to control 1 million people, literally. It was easier to control 1 million people than physically to kill 1 million people. Today, it is infinitely easier to kill 1 million people than to control 1 million people.
The answer to 1984 is 1776. You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
We're live, ladies and gentlemen, Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. But I return live Sundays, 4 to 6 p.m. with the abbreviated Sunday News Update. Because there's always so much news that breaks over the weekend that the system tries to bury under the proverbial carpet. Okay, let me just do it this way. It's so over the top. Every day, exponentially, the news gets more insane. I'm not the only one noticing that. Dennis Hastert wasn't rocket science. It's a pedophile cover-up. There's a whole ring up there in Congress, Democrats and Republicans. They recruit their own people in. They go right to the top because they're totally compromised. We're going to play a clip that the Hill newspaper is reporting on where Dennis Hastert's weird 2014 phone call on C-SPAN. We told you on Thursday when it broke and on Friday with the investigative journalist that broke all this in 2006 that Hastert was covering up basically a pedophile ring. So it's not just him having sex with people on the wrestling team, allegedly. And allegedly Bill Clinton's a liar. And allegedly Obamacare increases your prices. No, it's not alleged. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Congress is just chock full of these predators. It's a predator cult. Same cult took over much of the Catholic Church. It'll take over your school. It'll take over your police department. That's how evil operates. So we're going to be breaking all that down. CNN, Hastert's hush money was to cover up sexual misconduct with former students, sources say. Really? Think so? We broke it all here in 2006 on record with Wayne Madsen. And I'm not bragging, but we broke the NSA, we broke the gun grabs, we broke the carbon taxes, we broke it all of it. But not because we're special. The mainstream media lies and deceives on purpose. Their job is to cover up what's really happening until it's too late. Then they try to spin it. And that's why newspaper circulation in just the last 12 months, what they had left is down 50% plus. And hundreds of newspapers are closing as we speak. AFP reports on it. Newspapers struggle to find path in digital age. Well, there are print publications that tell the truth that are also digital that are doing just fine. Look at Infowars while we're just exploding. All right, I just hit one story there. Let me just give you the other headlines. This is so big, I'm not going to cover it till the start of the next hour. Administration preps new gun regulations from The Hill newspaper up in D.C. Of course, the headline should be, Obama announces draconian, unconstitutional executive bans on guns. Or Obama becomes more of a dictator and vows to restrict the Second Amendment outside of law. But see, no one calls it that now when he erases the border and orders the Border Patrol to, quote, complete the smuggling process, in their words. That's from the Border Patrol. And the Border Patrol, it turns out, called the New York Times, the Washington Post. They called everyone, including Breitbart, who does some good work on the border. And no one would send reporters down to show the illegals being loaded on buses last year to be then shipped around the country, and the Border Patrol being ordered to pay for it. We went, we did the interviews, we showed the buses, we talked to the emergency manager of McAllen. He said, none of this is hidden. They've been doing it for the last few months. We load the illegals on, the Border Patrol gives them the vouchers, they're sent to Democratic Party facilities, and then they're given basically their voter ID cards, and the rest is history. And what I'm getting at here is, we break all this most of the time because no one else will do it, because people are such cowards. And so more and more, the military, you name it, reach out to us with the key information because they know we're crazy enough to publish it. And by crazy enough, crazy like a fox, crazy like Thomas Jefferson and George Washington, you'd have to be crazy to let the crooks running wild continue. You'd have to be crazy to lay down and die, basically, as a society. I'm not doing it. I'm actually sane. Take one look at Hastert and see he's a big, giant, pus-filled pedophile. You can take a... Pedophiles have a look, folks. And the way he shot right to the top. But I never went with that until we had the intel and the specifics. And we, again, 9 years ago, broke it all down in an hour-long interview about Hastert and the pedophile ring and the pages and all the rest of it. And this is only coming out now so they can scare the daylights out of Congress to go along with the TPP and all the rest of it, the Trans-Pacific Partnership. But look at this. Administration preps new gun regulations. Oh, there's nobody coming after your guns. I've had CBS News and Al Jazeera. CBS News over the phone, Al Jazeera here in person in the last couple of weeks, and they'll look you straight in the face and go, there's no gun control in America. No one wants your guns, Mr. Jones. What do you say to that? And I'm sitting there with a TV camera on me, and I go, well, a whole bunch of cities have totally banned them. The UN admits under UNIDIR they want the civilian ownership of firearms to be banned. And I quoted them, UNIDIR. They go, no, it's not. And then they had the producer start laughing at me like their peer pressure was going to affect me and make me feel like I was insane. They were involved in gaslighting. It's a total joke. Your mind control doesn't work on me, jerks. Do you understand that? Other than making me want to punch you in the face. I mean, yes, it makes me want to break your jaw. So I guess in a way it is working. But the difference is I don't act on that. I act on information warfare, and I assault you that way with the truth, up one side and down the other, viciously. Because you're the ones attacking us. You're the ones stealing our freedom. You're the ones turning us into slaves. You're the ones bankrupting our country and shutting down our industry. You people are a pack of criminal scum. I am sane, I see you, and I'm saying no, 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 no more. Look at this. They've got more than 15 bills that have been introduced into Congress. Bill would require gun owners to have liability insurance or pay $10,000 fine. That's out of Alabama.com. Hey, let's expand on that. Here it is right here. The Justice Department, not Congress, plans to move forward this year with more than a dozen new gun-related regulations according to a list of rules. See, Hitler had rules. These got rid of the voting after a while. Just he made rules and regulations. The Justice Department plans to move forward this year with more than a dozen new gun-related regulations, not laws, according to a list of rules. Rules like you have for your kids, because your house is a dictatorship, but not the country. The Justice Department plans to move forward this year with more than a dozen new gun-related regulations, according to a list of rules the agency has proposed to enact before the end of the Obama administration. And we'll tell you about those coming up. Of course, they're not releasing all of them now, but we know what they've done every other time, and we know what they just tried a month and a half ago, the AR-15 or 5.56 223 bullet ban. So that's coming up. I mean, I've now read 4 stories out of about 150. Oh, here's what I mentioned, Politico. Oh, look. There's the nice lady going in on the cover of it, and she's basically crying as Wendy Gonzalez learns that her prices are doubling. And, of course, that's on top of the doubling that already happened. And the lowest increases are only 50%, don't worry. The cost of Obamacare could rise for millions of Americans next year, with one insurer proposing a 50% hike in premiums, fueling the controversy of just about how affordable the Affordable Care Act really is. At first, it was free. Then it was the price of a phone bill, then a cable bill, then you could keep your doctor. Let me give everybody a little news flash for so-called liberals that tune in to hear. Let me explain something. Foreign corrupt insurance companies wrote the Patriot Act. They basically wrote the Obamacare Act. They wrote it all because they run the country. And their profits are up almost 50% each year on top of each other.
Hey, how you doing, Alex?
Good, brother.
Just recently started using your products. Everything you said about them's correct. Me and my wife both use a lot of them, and it's made a lot of changes in our lives here.
Well, thank you, brother. It's because it also funds our operation, but doing that, I know I've got to have the highest quality. Super Male Vitality was developed to activate your body's own natural processes instead of using synthetic chemicals.
We do the super male and the super female vitality. Big changes, a lot of energy. We've gotten off of the cheap energy drinks, energy shots, saving a ton of money there.
Sourced from powerful organic herbs, harvested around the planet, and then concentrated for maximum potency. They want to stun and dumb down, and energy drinks and stuff just cover that up for a while, but then burn you out, in my experience, whereas stuff that gets your glands naturally going goes right to the source. So it's pretty exciting, and I love it. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your super male vitality and other powerful products from InfoWars Life. Alex Jones here with an InfoWarsLife.com Consumer Alert Report. Many of you are aware that around the world, most populations are woefully deficient in clean forms of iodine. The good news is our listeners over the past 2 years tried X2 nascent iodine and experienced it for themselves. The bad news is, for the first time in more than a year, supplies at InfoWarsLife.com of Survival Shield X2 nascent iodine are running low. But what's even more serious is the supply of these deep earth crystals. That exclusive 999 pure source is proprietary and only available to InfoWarsLife.com. And that supply is running low and is in question. That's why it's more important than ever to secure your current and long-time supply of Survival Shield Nascent Iodine X2 today. Available exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. Ladies and gentlemen, you haven't really ever heard firearms manufacturers as sponsors on my syndicated radio show or the nightly news or the news website, Infowars.com, because the companies I've been approached by were not the highest quality, and they weren't as affordable as they should be, so I refused probably 30, 40 firearms manufacturers over the years. Well, then, about 6 months ago, we get contacted by Head Down Firearms, hdfirearms.com. Owned and run by a bunch of former Navy SEALs, special ops people. They're veterans, they're patriots, they're listeners of the radio show, and they want to support the broadcast. It's always about security, whether it's for yourself, your wife, your loved ones. Go to their website, hdfirearms.com. Buy right off their website, and they'll just send it to the FFL dealer of your choice. You can pick it up at the gun show, you can pick it up at the local sporting goods store. Whatever you do, get your Head Down firearm today. The spirit of 1776 lives at Head Down Firearms. hdfirearms.com.
Introducing Secret 12, the new Infowars Life vitamin B12 formulation. Secret 12 is a binary of nutrimedical grade, bioavailable coenzyme forms of B12, methylcobalamin, the same kind used in B12 injections, and adenosylcobalamin. Secret 12 is simply taken by mouth, right on the tongue, and then swallowed. No needles, no injections. Secure your revolutionary Secret 12 formula right now at InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139. Alex Jones here. For the last 2 years, I've been working with top doctors, nutritionists, and chemists to design a nutraceutical formulation that has truly life-changing health benefits. Introducing the all-new Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Blend. Experience the benefits of combining over 14 ancient herbs and extracts with exciting new advances in nutraceutical science. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139. That's InfoWarsLife.com.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show. Alex Jones.
Gonna fly, free bird. You go to drudgereport.com, you can see on the left-hand side, city where Hastert taught, shaken by charges for Denny. It was sex. And you look at the photo from the yearbook of the disgusting creature, and then you understand Barney Frank with his underage callboy ring run out of his 3-story townhouse and no one got in trouble. That came out in the 90s. And the midnight callboy ring over 200 times, underage, quote, callboys. I mean, imagine hundreds of people under 18, men, going to the White House to have sex. That was even the Washington Times. Nobody got in trouble. All these pages they get caught having sex with, male and female, mainly male, both parties. You're like, why is this happening? Because they recruit their people in, and it's a rite of passage that you rape children or you rape young people, and that's how you get into the cult. With the Crips or the Bloods, you got to go shoot a rival gang member, you got to kill a liquor store owner, you got to shoot at a cop to really become a made member of hardcore gangs. And I think that's disgusting, you know, shooting a cop, killing a liquor store owner, whatever. But, man, I got to say, it's not as sick as, like, having a pedo cult. It's all sick. I mean, you know, it's by degrees, but, I mean, it's really sick. And that's who runs America. You wonder why stuff's so twisted? Why Jocelyn Elders got up during the Clinton administration and said, you know, teach 5-year-olds how to masturbate? Reach down and help the little fellows. That creepy voice, a woman in an Admiral outfit. These are freaks, folks. These are sickos. And they get up there on MSNBC, and they tell you, your kids belong to the state now. Remember that promo? Melissa Harris Perry? It's all about outrageousness. We're going to teach your 5-year-olds that Bobby has 2 daddies. And it's not to teach so you don't hate people. It's to get little kids all screwed up, thinking about stuff that it shouldn't even be on their radar till they're 18 years old. California says, we'll inoculate your kids without your consent if we get their consent down to age 11. Children don't have consent till 18. There's a reason, because sick freaks can convince them. What's next? That's right. England and Australia are trying to pass laws that down to age 12 or 13, depending on the country, if your child gives consent, let me tell you somebody. You go after one of my daughters when they're 13, and I've got one that's 11, and you say you had consent, you're some 30-year-old pervert, I don't care what the law is, you're going to be pushing daisies. And, oh, but then I'll be a pedophobe. In fact, that's already starting, see? Let some old man love my 7-year-old daughter. I got a 7-year-old daughter. You know what? A ball-peen hammer is going to love your head when I knock you upside the head about 100 times. I'm sick of it. I don't belong to you. My children don't belong to you, you control freak sacks of pus. Now, let's go ahead and play a little call that the Hill newspaper is reporting on from last year to Denny Hastert. Denny, who was taken from nowhere and put in the State House and then brought right in and was only in Congress 3 or 4 years before he's in leadership. And then a few years after that, he's the speaker. Unheard of. Let's go ahead and go to that clip.
Illinois is our next call. Here's Bruce, Independent Line. Hi.
Hello, Danny.
Hey, how are you doing?
Pretty good. Remember me from Yorkville?
Bruce, you're on. Go ahead with your question coming. I think he's gone.
And see, they had to burn Hastert because they can't have the whole ring come out. Just like they sent in the former head of the FBI to cover up Penn State, that's basically one of the major pedophile command bases. And it'll all come out just like the Vatican. None of you guys are going to stop any of it. You know, this year they called it 2 months ago national security. The Prime Minister of England said it's now a national security emergency and that they have to basically seal the pedophile scandal because of national security, because it goes from the royal family right through Parliament, right into local government. You say, statistically, maybe only 1 out of 200 people, if you look at the criminology, is a pedophile. Why are they seem to be every other person in government worldwide? Because it's a cult, people. Rome got taken over by perv cults. You know, during the Stoic rise of Rome, when they stopped having kings, and we're talking 200 BC or so, in the golden age of Rome, if you cheated on your wife, they would execute you. And you know why? Because they'd already been through all the decadence and their society collapsed. So then that's where the word Stoic comes from, is the Romans. Then, by their fall, what are they doing? All the same stuff we see now. And what architecture is D.C.? It's Romanesque. The whole thing is classical, not Greek, but Roman architecture from the Greek. And they're just up there in a big Caligula Nero party, out of touch, but this time they've got nuclear weapons. It's not like Rome can just fall this time. It's got nuclear weapons. It's run by crazy people. And you got to ask, why is it coming out now? To blackmail Congress. Oh, by the way, I was covering Obamacare out of Politico. When Obamacare started kicking in about 2 years ago, I have a medical doctor I see maybe every 4 or 5 years for a checkup, but I go to a local clinic. My dad's a physician, one of his friends owns, and I'll go there if I got a sore throat or a sprained ankle or, you know, something like that to get checked on. And I was there a couple times last year, and I was there a few other times with my kids, and every time there were Obama supporters. They would say, you know, I'm a Democrat, but I don't like this Obamacare. What do you mean my insurance just went up 100% or 200% or 50%? It varied. And it was mainly, every time I saw mainly black women in this big clinic I go to, but it was just some Hispanic women as well, complaining, going, and they're like, we're sorry, ma'am, you've got to call your insurance company. And they'd get on their phone while I'm sitting there for an hour waiting. And they'd call and go, what do you mean it's going up? Well, that's just what it is under law. Insurance companies wrote Obamacare with the Republican leadership and the Democratic leadership to gang rape you and take your health care and create death panels and ration care, and to then have computers, when they're done with it, it's already phasing in, tell doctors what they can do. You will not get eye surgeries. You will not get knee surgeries. You're not, when they're done, you're not going to get jack squat, and you're going to love it. And guess what? They've announced executive action on new taxes outside of law, and they're announcing executive action on grabbing pension funds, public and private, and the Supreme Court just ruled last week they can do it. They didn't used to rule that, but next they might rule that, you know, you've got to have prima noctu. And I guess when you have a child is born, you've got to offer it up to the politicians. You know, prima noctu in old Europe, you had to offer your daughter up on her wedding night to the local lord. But now maybe you'll just offer, we already offer our children up to the state anyways with vaccines. Maybe you're a pedophobe next if you aren't for raping 2-year-old babies. You're closed-minded, huh? Yeah. But there's more on Obamacare we'll tell you about when we come back, the government side of it.
Alex Jones here with an InfoWarsLife.com consumer alert report. Many of you are aware that around the world, most populations are woefully deficient in clean forms of iodine. The good news is our listeners over the past 2 years tried X2 nascent iodine and experienced it for themselves. The bad news is, for the first time in more than a year, supplies at InfoWarsLife.com of Survival Shield X2 nascent iodine are running low. But what's even more serious is the supply of these deep earth crystals. That exclusive 999 pure source is proprietary and only available to InfoWarsLife.com. And that supply is running low and is in question. That's why it's more important than ever to secure your current and long-time supply of Survival Shield Nascent Iodine X2 today. Available exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. For all of recorded history, civilizations around the world praised the health benefits of silver. At InfoWars Life, our mission is to bring you the highest quality, purest, cleanest, effective colloidal silver on the market today for the lowest price available. Now, InfoWarsLife.com has taken colloidal silver to the next level using a cutting-edge technique that is free of toxic artificial additives. InfoWarsLife.com developed Silver Bullet by closely working with one of the top silver manufacturing labs in the United States. We set out to bring you the very best at the lowest price. Find out more about the proprietary development of Silver Bullet at InfoWarsLife.com. In these times, it's essential to have high-quality colloidal silver on hand. No survival chest is complete without Silver Bullet. Exclusively available at InfoWarsLife.com. Secure your Silver Bullet today at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. Introducing Secret 12, the new Infowars Life vitamin B12 formulation. Secret 12 is a binary of nutrimedical-grade, bioavailable coenzyme forms of B12, methylcobalamin, the same kind used in B12 injections, and adenosylcobalamin. Secret 12 is simply taken by mouth, right on the tongue, and then swallowed. No needles, no injections. Secure your revolutionary Secret 12 formula right now at InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139. Alex Jones here. For the last 2 years, I've been working with top doctors, nutritionists, and chemists to design a nutraceutical formulation that has truly life-changing health benefits. Introducing the all-new Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Blend. Experience the benefits of combining over 14 ancient herbs and extracts with exciting new advances in nutraceutical science. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139. That's InfoWarsLife.com. Ladies and gentlemen, you haven't really ever heard firearms manufacturers as sponsors on my syndicated radio show or the nightly news or the news website, Infowars.com, because the companies I've been approached by were not the highest quality and they weren't as affordable as they should be. So I refused probably 30, 40 firearms manufacturers over the years. Well, then, about 6 months ago, we get contacted by Head Down Firearms, hdfirearms.com. Owned and run by a bunch of former Navy SEALs, special ops people. They're veterans, they're patriots, they're listeners of the radio show, and they want to support the broadcast. It's always about security, whether it's for yourself, your wife, your loved ones. Go to their website, hdfirearms.com. Buy right off their website, and they'll just send it to the FFL dealer of your choice. You can pick it up at the gun show, you can pick it up at the local sporting goods store. Whatever you do, get your Head Down firearm today. The spirit of 1776 lives at Head Down Firearms, hdfirearms.com.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
You've got it. This transmission is coming to you.
Waging war on corruption.
All right, you are go.
It's Alex Jones, coming to you live from the front lines of the Infowar.
Well, Hillary Clinton's down in the polls.
You've got it.
Secretary of State John Kerry broke his leg while bicycling. Biden's 40-something-year-old son died of brain cancer after a long battle. Do you take the vaccines, Joe? Do you drink all that fluoride? There's a flashback where Kerry says, "I don't fall down." Another arrogant statement. Not even God could sink this ship. That's what they said of the Titanic as it left its moorings in the UK. Some of the headlines up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Is our universe a Matrix-like computer game? That's what the Pentagon says. You can't make that up. Instead of firing, NBC looks to find a new role for Brian Williams. You can't make that stuff up. Remember, I predicted they'd have him host special shows once a month or something that are low-rated and kind of hidden to eat crow, to kind of save face. And then basically when the public forgets about it, they can roll Brian Williams back out. There's a report by Zero Hedge on how little it cost Goldman Sachs and others to bribe America's senators to fast-track Obama's TPP bill. Massive dirty bomb exercises set for June. We're clearly seeing an undeniable buildup to a so far unknown event, is the quote. Virgin Mary painting covered in dung and porn to be sold at Christie's auction. You know, there's such a thing as good taste. If somebody wants to do that, it's free speech, but why does Christie's have to sell it? Oh, but you're not hearing Christians or Catholics saying they're going to blow it up, though. And speaking of that, Joe Biggs was at the Draw Mohammed free speech event in Phoenix outside the mosque where the two shooters came from that attacked the similar event a few weeks ago in Garland outside Dallas. The 4-hour archive of the live stream is on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Joe is going to be here today, but one of his friends, a military veteran, committed suicide here in Texas. And so Joe is driving 2 hours away to comfort the family right now. There are 22 suicides a day by veterans in this country. And, of course, it's not a big news story. Just like we have the crisis of the no-treat list, the death penalty for veterans all over the country. And we, of course, helped break that here with Dr. Doug Rockey and others. And before we even knew the name of the program, the Watson computer, as it's called, from IBM, decides who lives and who dies. But the people can all feel good because a computer programmed by the eugenicist cult, the death cult, said that you don't get treatment, even though it's viable treatment. You just die. Play ball with the globalists and you might get health care. This is the new future where all of the resources are controlled. I want to get to the TPP here in a moment, and then Rand Paul set to filibuster in the Senate the midnight passage of the Patriot Act that expires today. I wonder if the ISIS teams, the criminal elements in the government have brought in, I wonder if they'll attack tomorrow if the Patriot Act expires. How obvious will that be? And they've got push polls out. You know, Rand Paul doesn't want to keep you safe and doesn't want to be able to spy on terrorist groups. Do you think that's good? Oh, no. 60-something% don't think it's good. It's how they frame these things. And there's just amazing fear-mongering going on that we're all going to be attacked any minute if we don't let them spy on us without warrants. Because, see, the truth is the Patriot Act did legalize a bunch of this. They just denied that it did that. I mean, it lets the government break in your house without warrants and plant stuff in the sneak and peek provision. I mean, and then if you catch them, you can't tell anybody or it's a felony. Violates the First Amendment. I mean, it is just so unconstitutional. North Korea doesn't put stuff like this on paper. The Nazis didn't put stuff like this on paper. The communists in Russia didn't do this. They just did it. Only would our government, run by a bunch of corrupt lawyers, put it on paper. Rand Paul declares surveillance war and hints at filibuster for NSA reform. Justin Amash and others in the House say they're going to be watching for a secret midnight attempted passage like happened last year. But since I mentioned Obamacare, here's the Politico article about, well, in 2014 it went up some, and then 2015, and now in 2016, Blue Cross Blue Shield has announced in most states at least a 50% increase. Yeah, my parents, who never used their insurance, never. Not since the late 80s. Got the word that over the next year, this is about a year ago, that it would go up over 100%. and it's now gone up 100%. But again, it's racist, as MSNBC said, if you say that. Alex Jones, just like they said, doesn't like Obamacare because he doesn't like a black president. Really? I'd wash the feet of a black president that was a patriot. I could care less what color they were. That is such an insult that I have to deny I'm a racist because I read a bill and know it's a screw job written by insurance companies, how they just change the subject. It's so discrediting how they do that. Here's the other article, CNBC. Obamacare's big overhead cost to top $270 billion. Or $250 billion. And that's just each year. Why do you think the insurance companies wrote Obamacare and spent $2 billion getting it passed? Because they wanted to help little old ladies and they cared about you? The insurance companies, the big ones, are owned by the big mega banks that own the big defense contractors that run the whole show. They're the ones funding going after your guns. They're the ones funding teaching your 5-year-old that they should be able to have sex with men, you know, when they're 6. They're the ones, just the whole sick agenda, they're it. A bunch of totally disconnected from reality banking families, less than 20 families, who basically own the world through fraud. Only reason they put Bernie Madoff in jail was because Bernie Madoff cheated some of the elite themselves. And then notice I predicted he'd, you know, commit suicide, and so would his son and all the rest of it. And, you know, the rest is history. That's what they do. That's how they operate. And we just sit here. Now these bankers haven't mopped up Russia. They haven't fully taken over China. They're competing with other criminal networks, but they're the big boy on the block. And they've dreamed of this total takeover plan to micromanage everything we do, track everything we do, shut down all competition so they can socially then do whatever they want to us, which is just hellish. That they now are willing to start World War III to get total hegemonic global domination. And then the mainstream media goes, I got a big joke for you. This crazy guy named Alex Jones, he claims mega banks, central banks, as if those exist, he claims that they want total world domination. Everybody knows no one's ever wanted that. And the average person does a double take who's even historically ignorant and goes, what do you mean? The whole history of the world, Julius Caesar, Genghis Khan, Attila the Hun, and British Empire, the Nazis, the communists, there's always sociopathic, psychopathic, control freak elites that lust to dominate and take over the whole world. I mean, that's a no-brainer. And they just sit here and go, no. The sun does not come up in the morning. There's no corruption, no powerful groups getting together in special interest. It doesn't exist. No one thing as you grow up. Nothing's wrong. Nothing's happening. Don't investigate. Just keep your eyes closed and let us run your lives. We'll take care of you. And now we discover they won't take care of us. We come back. My son, Rex Jones, went out Thursday. The report premiered on the Nightly News Friday. And every person he talked to, of more than 20, did not know what the TPP was. And some of them got angry when, there'll be a part 2, there's just too many of these to put it on one report, when a 12-year-old knew and they didn't. But we'll talk about the modern way they conquer us.
A hearing scheduled for today will focus on whether 2 chimpanzees held by Stony Brook University are property of the university or must be set free. Champions of the concept of speciesism, like Peter Singer, argue that the chimps should have human rights because they are, quote, comparable to 3-year-old humans in their capacity for self-awareness, unquote. The problem is, Singer has argued that Down's syndrome children should be euthanized because, quote, they will never be able to play the guitar or develop an appreciation of science fiction, learn a foreign language, or chat with us about the latest Woody Allen movie, unquote. Singer's speciesism is not about elevating animal treatment. It's about creating a justification for devaluing human life in all conditions, at all ages. We will not allow scientific elitists and eugenicists like Peter Singer to deny human liberty and dignity. This is David Knight reporting for Infowars.com.
InfoWarsLife.com. Check it out today. I have set out to bring you the most hardcore, cutting-edge supplements and nutraceuticals, bar none. And that's what you'll find at InfoWarsLife.com. We have rejected literally hundreds of products from the InfoWars Life line because they are not of the very highest quality, or because they're not 100% organic, or because they don't pass all of the strictest toxicology tests there are that we have listed at InfoWarsLife.com. Whether it's Survival Shield Nascent Iodine, or DNA Force, Super Male Vitality, Super Female Vitality, Lung Cleanse, Fluoride Shield, Oxy Powder. I believe that all of these products will blow you away like they've done the thousands of other customers that have visited InfoWarsLife.com and believed in us and tried the products. Folks, check out InfoWarsLife.com today and the entire line of groundbreaking, cutting-edge, hardcore products. Ladies and gentlemen, you haven't really ever heard firearms manufacturers as sponsors on my syndicated radio show or the nightly news or the news website, Infowars.com, because the companies I've been approached by were not the highest quality, and they weren't as affordable as they should be, so I refused probably 30, 40 firearms manufacturers over the years. Well then, about 6 months ago, we get contacted by Head Down Firearms, hdfirearms.com. Owned and run by a bunch of former Navy SEALs, special ops people. They're veterans, they're patriots, they're listeners of the radio show, and they want to support the broadcast. It's always about security, whether it's for yourself, your wife, your loved ones. Go to their website, hdfirearms.com. Buy right off their website, and they'll just send it to the FFL dealer of your choice. You can pick it up at the gun show, you can pick it up at the local sporting goods store. Whatever you do, get your Head Down firearm today. The spirit of 1776 lives at Head Down Firearms, hdfirearms.com.
Another major health threat, this one in Toledo, Ohio, where everybody in the entire city has been told not to drink the water.
Ohio's governor declaring a state of emergency.
Did you know that the average person uses about 80 to 100 gallons of water at home every single day? If there's a water emergency, will you be prepared?
Panicked residents forming long lines throughout the day.
We're here at a supermarket in Toledo. You can see the shelves empty where water once was.
To stay safe and healthy during a crisis, you must have access to safe, clean water. Water which will not be available at your local grocery store.
There's a mad dash on right now to stock up on supplies.
The ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system is a must-have for every modern, independently minded household. Protect your family's safety during an emergency. Go to InfoWarsStore.com today to purchase your ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system, or call 1-888-253-3139.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
Hello, this is Hank Hill, and I'm telling you what, you need to listen to Alex Jones.
Infowars.com.
Live from Austin, Texas, broadcasting worldwide, it's Alex Jones.
Thank you, Mike Judge, for having Hank Hill and Beavis and Butthead bring us into that transmission. That is Mike Judge, by the way. I need to get him to do some more liners for us. By the way, I went back and got a glass of water during the last break in the break room, and we keep CNN on in there and Fox News as well to monitor establishment propaganda. And I took a double take. They had the host interviewing someone, and it's just about 5 minutes ago or 3 minutes ago now on the DVR. If somebody has the kind of a skeleton crew on Sundays, but somebody can go try to cue that up at least for tomorrow. Mark the time for about 4:47, 4:46 or so, or 4:45 maybe. And the host, but I mean, it's a talking point, it's everywhere, was like, it's really not controversial, everybody agrees with it, and it's in the Constitution that we have the Patriot Act, and we need the NSA to do this. Inverted reality. And then I was thinking about the speech from Obama's White House address. We're going to play a clip of this in a moment. And he says, look, this is not controversial. Everybody loves it. Only a few senators that are, bad guys don't like it. Like, everybody loves drinking cyanide. Everybody loves Jim Jones Kool-Aid. Everybody loves sticking their hands down garbage disposals. Everybody loves being covered with lice. Everybody loves being run over by cars. Everybody loves dying. Everybody loves being slaves. Everybody loves having their double or triple their prices. I mean, I'm just sick of it. But that's all they've got now is this wall of fraud, this wall of incessant lying. But they wouldn't be getting away with it if maybe 40% of the public, I'm surprised, can even tie their shoelaces or wipe their own hind ends. If you go to a blue-collar working area, you'll find folks that are somewhat informed. If you go to a conservative libertarian area, you'll find folks that are informed. You go to the University of Texas, or you go to a trendy area, you go to downtown Austin, you'll find people that are into being stupid and not caring. Every person we talk to, that my 12-year-old son talked to, a reporter for Infowars.com, Thursday. We aired this Friday on the Nightly News, did not know basically what planet they were on or what the TPP is, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, that is more of a conquering than King George because the regulations are worse than what he had on the colonies. I mean, we're being conquered. And these people don't care. Because they've been raised with their Apple products and their fluoride in the water and their TV, and they're not conscious. But they are alive enough to go vote for collectivism that the globalists are exempt from to screw us all over. We are in grave danger. We're not a democracy. If 51% vote that the other 49 are slaves, we have a Bill of Rights. It's a republic. You can't do that. There's a veto on certain basic things the country's founded on. You know, they claim that North Korea is democratic. Hitler was elected. I'm not going to sit here and be these idiot slaves. Let's go ahead and play this report. Rex Jones, the full video's on Infowars.com.
What do you think the TPP is?
TTP?
No, what is TTP?
The DPP?
The what?
TPP.
I have no idea.
Nope. I have no idea what that is. I ain't got a clue. I have no idea.
Do any of y'all know what the heck the TPP is?
TPP?
Any of y'all?
No. No.
Nobody knows what this is.
I have no idea. The toilet paper products.
The Texas Petroleum.
By the way, hit pause. Back it up 10 seconds, please. RT did this in New York and got the toilet paper comment. I mean, that's real. That's not an actor. Talk about mind in the gutter. These people are helpless. But believe me, you get into political debates with them, they'll go, racist, whatever. I mean, they're not even alive. Let's go back to the clip.
I have no idea. The toilet paper products.
The Texas Petroleum people?
The terrorist group? I don't know.
And my name is a WWE Thunderstruck Roller Coaster. God bless you.
At least he had some poetry.
Words of wisdom.
I would honestly have no idea.
Well, it gives information and entertaining. Well, I don't know exactly the words in English.
And that's what we call guessing.
Probably some Congress thing about homeless men. Tyrannical people in power.
Actually pretty close. Actually pretty darn close.
Toilet paper.
The TPP, or the Trans-Pacific Partnership.
Trans what?
Pacific Partnership is a alliance of corporate global businesses that will then be able to, in any of the three segments, Asian, Pacific, European, or American, will be able to bypass any or all of the laws and rules in that place and be able to do away with currency and due process. What do you think about that?
Reminds me of what China does with their free market zones.
I would definitely have to hear a lot more information because this sounds a lot like a bit of conspiracy theory to me.
I think it sounds a little bit far-fetched.
I'm being totally honest, I just don't care right now. Is that bad? Like, I was just so unprepared for this.
I think that's awesome, dude. Actually, yeah, I think it's awesome.
Why?
I mean, because we need people like that, I guess, yeah.
I literally have no clue. I haven't watched the news in a while, man.
Okay, well, there you have it. He hasn't watched news. None of us have. We just vote for Obama and pray that he doesn't smite us with his mighty hand of vengeance.
My first question for you is, which party do you support?
Third party libertarian.
Okay, good. I wanted to make sure I didn't end up on some like anti-Obama or something, because it is Texas.
Oh my goodness! And we've got part 2 of it where they get mad when a 12-year-old young man knows stuff they don't know, because information now has become racist. Discernment, any type of decision making, and you look in the eyes of these people, black or white. There's nobody home. In fact, put that young lady, that last one, back up if you can. There's a shot earlier when he first talks to her where she's looking straight onto the camera, and man, there's nobody home. I've seen dead bodies. I've seen grandparents dead when they're dead at the hospital. I've seen my friend dead at the hospital. I've seen quite a few dead people. I saw a guy get his head basically chopped off, almost severed, on the side of the highway in a car wreck, and I was there when he died and saw the light go out of his eyes. I mean, I'm all about getting that gleam in the eyes. You look at her, though, when she's looking straight on the camera, it's about halfway into the video, and there's nothing there. I've seen dead people's eyes, and I'm telling you, she's got the eyes of a dead person. It's super scary. When I first saw that video after they shot it raw, my heart fluttered at it. Because she's dead, folks. She's dead. Go ahead and hit play, and then watch this look in her eye. Back it up again, just for TV viewers, Infowars.com/show. Go ahead and play her. When she starts talking and repeating the establishment line, that's when her eyes go dead. No, it's another clip in there. And the point is, I don't think she's totally dead all the time, but she goes in this trance look when she repeats the party line, and it's like she's like, "We have come to your planet to assimilate you. There's no way to resist us." I mean, it is truly cult-like. You know, I don't think dead's the word, though it's close to dead. It's like asleep. It's like they're asleep. I mean, where's the gleam in the eye? Infowars.com. It'll put the gleam back in your eye. And that's what I'm looking for, is people that are conscious and awake and have an instinct not to be slaves. We're going to go to break, come back, and I'm going to get into the filibuster coming up tonight with Rand Paul. They're going to procedurally try to block him, so he hasn't announced how he's going to do it yet, but that's the word, as they try to sneak through the Patriot Act, saying there's no Bill of Rights and Constitution, that they claim they've done all this illegal stuff on the back of, though the FBI admits they've never stopped one terror attack using the Patriot Act, but they have used it in hundreds of thousands of drug cases, domestic violence, white-collar stuff, you name it. Obama, again, swipes it, handful of senators holding up Patriot Act, and says there's no controversy, everybody loves it. That clip is coming up today and more in the second hour. I'm your host, Alex Jones. We're also going to get into amnesty, the latest on Al-Qaeda and ISIS, the latest on Russia, the latest on so many fronts, and China putting artillery in those new islands they built in the South China Sea, threatening the United States. Stay with us. Alex Jones here with an InfoWarsLife.com Consumer Alert Report. Many of you are aware that around the world, most populations are woefully deficient in clean forms of iodine. The good news is our listeners over the past 2 years tried X2 nascent iodine and experienced it for themselves. The bad news is, for the first time in more than a year, supplies at InfoWarsLife.com of Survival Shield X2 nascent iodine are running low. But what's even more serious is the supply of these deep earth crystals. That exclusive 999 pure source is proprietary and only available to InfoWarsLife.com. And that supply is running low and is in question. That's why it's more important than ever to secure your current and long-time supply of Survival Shield Nascent Iodine X2 today. Available exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. For all of recorded history, civilizations around the world
praised the health benefits of silver. At Infowars Life, our mission is to bring you the highest quality, purest, cleanest, effective colloidal silver on the market today for the lowest price available. Now, InfoWarsLife.com has taken colloidal silver to the next level using a cutting-edge technique that is free of toxic artificial additives. InfoWarsLife.com developed a silver bullet by closely working with one of the top silver manufacturing labs in the United States. We set out to bring you the very best at the lowest price. Find out more about the proprietary development of Silver Bullet at InfoWarsLife.com. In these times, it's essential to have high-quality colloidal silver on hand. No survival chest is complete without Silver Bullet. Exclusively available at InfoWarsLife.com. Secure your Silver Bullet today at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show. From his Central Texas Command Center, deep behind enemy lines, the information war continues. It's Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
All right, in the next segment, because it's longer, I'm going to get into these clips of Obama going, look, there's no controversy. This is reasonable. Keeps us safe. I was watching CNN about 25 minutes ago, and they were saying the same thing. Look, this is in the Constitution. We're just following what America's about. Keep you safe. See, now, 1984 should be our Constitution. The joke is they're using it as an instruction manual or an operations manual. But this is reality inverted. Of course your TV watches you. Of course there's death panels. Of course we don't give veterans health care. Of course the computers decide who dies. Of course it doubles and triples your prices. I mean, what's wrong with you, racist? Obamacare was always supposed to do that. And you just sit here going to the dumb sheeple. Do you see what they're doing to you? No one wants your guns. Nobody's coming after shotguns, rifles, semi-auto. We're not going to introduce one piece of gun legislation. We believe in the Second Amendment. Vote Biden. Vote Obama. And then Bloomberg comes out last year and says, headline, Bloomberg, I'm the strongest supporter of Bloomberg. I'm the strongest supporter of the Second Amendment there is. And he goes, I believe in your right to have guns. Don't resist me. Like in Saving Private Ryan, when they're wrestling around and the German soldier goes, shh, let's not fight anymore. And the guy gives up from it and he just stabs him. Ugh. It's like, no one's coming. No, there's Obamacare's free. It's all free. Everything's free. Actually, the bill says it increases prices. Shut up. But it says it. Shut up. Man, I tell you, this guy may be a terrorist writer. No, it actually increases prices. Shut up, racist. And it's so mindless, but then you realize the general public, especially young people, who were, I mean, as bad as older folks are, who were raised in front of televisions their whole life and video games, and are spoiled completely rotten. I have seen young people at restaurants just in a daze of decadence in tables next to me go, like 10-year-olds go, where's my food? Where? I wanted macaroni. And they're like, there it is on your plate. Where? Where? And you think they're autistic. They're not. And they're like, where? And their parents have to show them. And they're like, oh, because they've been on an iPhone or a pad all day or watching 2 days of TV. They can't even navigate the real world. They walk and fall into fountains. They walk into front of traffic. I saw a video this weekend. It's on Infowars.com. Maybe you guys can pull it up. The guy is on his smartphone, his slave phone, driving, texting, reading, wrecks, and is on the ground while he's, hurt. And the motorcycle's crashed, texting, just, Alex Jones conspiracy theorist, tinfoil hat, Obamacare free, free, I mean, there it is, injured motorcyclist crashes while using phone, doesn't stop texting. This guy is in a trance. You scroll down, there's video. You have to click on their site to go to it. Why in the universe is that on? We need the video. Hell gun, take me away. I mean, imagine as the public gets dumber and dumber and more brain damaged and more mindless. Imagine they're going to hate us more and more. I mean, if we're able to talk, they already think it's weird and fancy if you have a big vocabulary. They already think it's extreme, like, we got one that can read. What a genius Mike Judge is with Idiocracy, where he talks like a fag. And his own attorney is sitting there, making up crap about him in the courtroom. I mean, that's what it's coming down to. Welcome to Costco, I love you. Welcome to Costco, I love you. And then, of course, the argument is maybe the eugenicists have it right. Except then you realize, wait, they're trying to dumb down the smartest people. And they themselves are getting hit by it. They just hate humanity. I mean, we're in trouble. We got a bunch of fat pedos running stuff. It's Planet Pedo.
Hey, how you doing, Al?
Good, brother.
Just recently started using your products. Everything you said about them's correct. Me and my wife both use a lot of them, and it's made a lot of changes in our lives here.
Well, thank you, brother. It's because it also funds our operation. But doing that, I know I've got to have the highest quality. Super Male Vitality was developed to activate your body's own natural processes instead of using synthetic chemicals.
We do the Super Male and the Super Female Vitality. Big changes, a lot of energy. We've gotten off of the cheap energy drinks, energy shots. Saving a ton of money there.
Sourced from powerful organic herbs, harvested around the planet, and then concentrated for maximum potency. They want to stun and dumb down, and energy drinks and stuff just cover that up for a while, but then burn you out, in my experience, whereas stuff that gets your glands naturally going goes right to the source. So it's pretty exciting, and I love it. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality and other powerful products from InfoWars Life.
Fitting that a free screen should sound the alarm against those who would destroy freedom. For in its power to deceive and inflame, or enlighten and inspire, the motion picture has no equal.
And Infowars.com is classic, hardcore, libertarian, constitutionalist, pro-freedom, pro-human radio fused into television. And we pioneered it by necessity. They say that necessity is the mother and the father of invention. Well, that's why InfoWars pioneered it. 20 years on air, at least 17 years simulcasting, at least part of the time, radio with television. Thank you so much for joining us on this worldwide broadcast. We're now well into hour number 2. Joe Biggs is going to pop in. On his busy schedule, he was going to be in studio today, but he had a friend, military veteran, that committed suicide. So he's driving a couple hours to visit friends in a rural area of Texas, the grieving family. He went to the Draw the Prophet Muhammad demonstration in Phoenix yesterday and flew with his, we didn't intend to do this, but I guess he just thought to do it. But you could fly with it. You just check it. I think he took a Triton, or maybe he took a Provectus. Headdownfirearms.com, or a sponsor. Their accessories are amazing as well. Be sure and check those out. Headdownfirearms.com. But it was about 300 people out there strapping there at the mosque where the 2 shooters reportedly came from. Just letting folks know the First Amendment's alive and well. And I get it. It's trolling for radical Muslims. But at the same time, First Amendment is king. Second Amendment is basically tantamount or a twin peak to it. But the First Amendment's even more powerful. This is what mobilizes hearts and minds to then physically do something if need be. It is greater. Not much, but greater. And I support it. They're now saying they're going to kill the folks involved. Well, you know what? That's why we have a Second Amendment. We're a very welcoming, open country, but we're not going to adopt dark age political views, Stone Age political views. I'm a Renaissance supporter, and I do not support the Dark Ages. And I'm not saying all Muslims want the Dark Ages. A lot of interesting things have come out of the Middle East, a lot of mathematics and science, most of it pre-Islamic. Not saying there haven't been developments since then, but it is certainly a problem. So we're not going to just have some quiet, slow death of the Republic where we've got to give up our speech because it might offend radical Muslims. No, we're going to exercise our free speech and our Second Amendment to defend our First Amendment. That's why the two go together like a horse and carriage. What's more important, the carriage or the horses? I think it's probably the horses, but what would the horses do without a carriage? That said, let's start getting into Senator Rand Paul is being demonized by the left and the right on Fox, CNN, MSNBC. I'm monitoring it. They just get up there in a total confidence game that the world is flat and go, look, everybody supports it. It keeps us safe. It's in the Constitution. Patriot Act's the way to go. How dare this extremist? I mean, there's not a controversy. Everybody loves having the NSA watch everything they do. And everybody loves, you know, putting kittens in microwaves. And everybody loves Jeffrey Dahmer. Everybody loves, you know, rotten tuna fish. Well, no, everybody doesn't love it. But you just try your confidence game. Everything's fine. Move along. Nothing to see here. Everything's great. Government loves you. It's not infiltrated and taken over by foreign interest. Of course it is, but this is free health care. Well, actually, it's not free. Well, just don't worry about it. We're not coming after your guns. Here's all this legislation. Get their guns. Brainwash them. Take their guns. Oh, I didn't know you watched C-SPAN. Sorry. They go on C-SPAN and say, brainwash them. We're going to get all their guns. And then go, excuse me, we don't want your guns. And that's coming up, too. But let's start going to this incredible baloney piece of the president in his weekly address. You can call him the president up there, spouting just total bull about the Patriot Act and all the illegal spying that's focused in their own admissions on returning veterans, gun owners, libertarians, conservatives, constitutionalists, Christians, pro-lifers, anybody who doesn't hate freedom. I mean, if you hate freedom, they love you. If you're for basic freedom, basic human dignity, a classical liberal, you are the enemy. The NSA is watching what you have for dinner. Here we go.
Hi, everybody. As president
Hi, everybody.
My greatest
Here, back it up. I'm going to translate this. Back it up.
The American people.
Back it up. I'm going to do each 10-second clip I'm going to analyze. Hello, prey. I'm here to con game you and prey on you. I'm a predator. I hate you and your family. I'm shutting your power plants down right now and butchering all your jobs and selling you out overseas and giving nuclear reactors to China that can make their subs silent. I hate your guts. I was trained from this from the beginning. I am the front man of a predator group to bring down this country, and we're blackmailing half the Congress who are pedophiles to do what we say. That's translated from the first 10 seconds. Start from the beginning again, please.
Hi, everybody. As President and Commander-in-Chief, my greatest responsibility is the safety.
As President of the United States working for foreign banks, I'm preparing and training the military to take you on and confiscate your guns while we're preparing false flag attacks to be blamed on patriots. I will destroy you. I hate your guts forever. I will destroy you. I hate you. I hate you. I am pure evil. I am pure evil. Okay, that's basically what's really being said. Let's start over again from the beginning.
Hi, everybody. As President and Commander-in-Chief, my greatest responsibility is the safety of the American people.
Your greatest responsibility, hit pause,
in our fight against
back it up, is an elite control freak power takeover where you delusional megalomaniacs believe you're going to merge the machines and live forever, but Lucifer won't give you that till you've killed almost everyone on Earth to save the Earth while you bring out GMOs and genetic engineering that's killing the Earth. So your number one priority is to pacify and create racial division and divide and conquer while screwing everyone over and destroying human destiny as if you work with space aliens or something sent here to destroy the species. I mean, you might as well be that. The total enemy of humanity, a lying, stinking fraud, up one side and down the other, with gang-raping Obamacare, doubling and tripling prices, with death panels for veterans. Just pure war against humanity, maximum evil. Back it up again. I'll continue to translate.
People. And in our fight against terrorists, we need to use...
All right, hit pause on that. Back it up to the beginning. Your fight against ISIS and Al-Qaeda with the Defense Intelligence leak to Judicial Watch confirming that everything that's been done is being run by the globalists and that you run radical Islamicists and you armed them in Benghazi. So I'm here to keep you safe from terrorists that he runs. That's what he's saying. Let's start at the beginning again. I'm sorry, just the lies are everything he says is a lie. We have to decipher it. Go ahead.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, prisoners.
As President and Commander-in-Chief, my greatest responsibility is the safety of the American people. And in our fight against terrorists...
He says, as President, Commander-in-Chief, the American flag, George Washington, I'm here, you can trust me, using the office. Remember when Jade Helm came in and the colonel goes, I don't care what the government says, I'm the Army, you can trust me. That's what the feds say, trust the Army. Sure, they're trying to round you up and stuff and saying their main enemy's veterans, but trust them because they're run by this guy. Everything's fine. We love you. And what I can't believe there's more people aren't opposing him like I am. I mean, I just can't believe the lies. Excuse me. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to write notes. Go ahead and start it over again.
We need to use every effective tool at our disposal, both to defend our security and to protect the freedoms and civil liberties enshrined in our Constitution. But tomorrow, Sunday at midnight, some important tools we use against terrorists will expire. That's because Congress has not renewed them, and because legislation that would, the USA...
All right, hit pause. The USA Freedom Act. It's freedom? Like the Affordable Care Act that doubles and triples prices and cuts the quality of care and rations it and has death panels? Gee, it's got a great sounding name. That sounds pretty good to me. It expires because people now know what's in it, dirtbag. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to control myself. Oh, I can't believe it. And Rand Paul, I told you he's the best. He's up there fighting it. I know Rand Paul. He's a good guy. He's a patriot. And that's why they'll probably, I hate to say it, but I've talked to Ron Paul about it and Rand Paul. And they know the danger they're in. I mean, they might blow Rand Paul up in an airplane or something. I think they might kill him. We'll be back. Introducing Secret 12, the new Infowars Life vitamin B12 formulation. Secret 12 is a binary of nutramedical grade, bioavailable coenzyme forms of B12, methylcobalamin, the same kind used in B12 injections, and adenosylcobalamin. Secret 12 is simply taken by mouth, right on the tongue, and then swallowed. No needles, no injections. Secure your revolutionary Secret 12 formula right now at InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139. Alex Jones here. For the last 2 years, I've been working with top doctors, nutritionists, and chemists to design a nutraceutical formulation that has truly life-changing health benefits. Introducing the all-new Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Blend. Experience the benefits of combining over 14 ancient herbs and extracts with exciting new advances in nutraceutical science. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139. That's InfoWarsLife.com. For all of recorded history, civilizations around the world praised the health benefits of silver. At Infowars Life, our mission is to bring you the highest quality, purest, cleanest, effective colloidal silver on the market today for the lowest price available. Now, InfoWarsLife.com has taken colloidal silver to the next level using a cutting-edge technique that is free of toxic artificial additives. InfoWarsLife.com developed a silver bullet by closely working with one of the top silver manufacturing labs in the United States. We set out to bring you the very best at the lowest price. Find out more about the proprietary development of Silver Bullet at InfoWarsLife.com. In these times, it's essential to have high-quality colloidal silver on hand. No survival chest is complete without Silver Bullet. Exclusively available at InfoWarsLife.com. Secure your Silver Bullet today at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. Alex Jones here with an InfoWarsLife.com Consumer Alert Report. Many of you are aware that around the world, most populations are woefully deficient in clean forms of iodine. The good news is our listeners over the past 2 years tried X2 nascent iodine and experienced it for themselves. The bad news is, for the first time in more than a year, supplies at InfoWarsLife.com of Survival Shield X2 nascent iodine are running low. But what's even more serious is the supply of these deep earth crystals. That exclusive 999 pure source is proprietary and only available to InfoWarsLife.com. And that supply
supply is running low and is in question. That's why it's more important than ever to secure your current and long-time supply of Survival Shield Nascent Iodine X2 today. Available exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. Ladies and gentlemen, you haven't really ever heard firearms manufacturers as sponsors on my syndicated radio show or the nightly news or the news website, Infowars.com, because the companies I've been approached by were not the highest quality, and they weren't as affordable as they should be, so I refused probably 30, 40 firearms manufacturers over the years. Well then, about 6 months ago, we get contacted by Head Down Firearms, hdfirearms.com. Owned and run by a bunch of former Navy SEALs, special ops people. They're veterans, they're patriots, they're listeners of the radio show, and they want to support the broadcast. It's always about security, whether it's for yourself, your wife, your loved ones. Go to their website, hdfirearms.com. Buy right off their website, and they'll just send it to the FFL dealer of your choice. You can pick it up at the gun show, you can pick it up at the local sporting goods store. Whatever you do, get your Head Down firearm today. The spirit of 1776 lives at Head Down Firearms. hdfirearms.com.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show. Live from Austin, Texas, broadcasting worldwide, it's Alex Jones.
Coming up in the next segment, we're about to talk to Joe Biggs about the Draw Prophet Muhammad cartoon out in Phoenix that he attended yesterday and covered. Did a great job with the nightly news. They went for about 4 hours live last night, or Friday night on the nightly news. That's weeknights, 7 o'clock Central. Of course, the weekday radio show is 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central. The Sunday show you're listening to now is live 4 to 6 p.m. Central, re-aired also on fine affiliates across the country. Please be sure and spread the word about those AM and FM affiliates and support them as sponsors or support the sponsors. That is key. And I know listeners are doing that, so I salute you and thank you, because you don't stand beside us, behind us, or in front of us. You stand, as I say, at the heart of 1776. You stand at the heart of promoting liberty. You are the power of this transmission. And you've got my commitment to go 110% as hard as I can. And to never back down, to never shrink from the truth. You've got my commitment. And I get fired up because it's dangerous, it's crazy, it's wild, and it's exciting. I'll just tell you right now, I'm double down. My soul and my heart likes it. I'm lined up with God. I'm lined up with fighting evil, and man, it feels good. It feels good. Thank God I'm not with these dead souls out there that serve this system or go along with it. Thank God I will never be with them. No matter what they do to my name or my body, my soul belongs to Christ, and that's the end of it. And I'm sorry I'm ranting. It's just very exciting to be committed to the right thing and to see God's promises come true of providence and all the victories and success we've had in the face of the enemy. I just wish more people knew the power that good men and women have, and that more of you would take action and step into this wider world and be part of the real fight, because we could back this thing up. We could get a reprieve like Nineveh. But you've got to believe it, you've got to want it, you've got to reach out, you got to take it. These churches that aren't fighting the New World Order and aren't fighting Obamacare and aren't fighting abortion and the rest of it, I can just see them before God at the white throne judgment saying, you know, we said your name, we said we loved you, and God's going to say, go away, depart, I don't know you. There are going to be a lot of people that didn't think of themselves as good people, didn't think of themselves as goody two-shoes, that God will say, I know you, because your heart's right. You don't like evil, you don't like cheats, you don't like frauds, you don't like scammers, you don't like bullies, you don't like pedophiles, you don't like people that hurt innocents. You want to smash their brains out. Well, that's how God feels, I can tell you right now. God wants to give us victory and success and incredible revelation and understanding and excitement and blessings. All this New World Order gives you is death and pain, and I'm sick of it, and I'm ranting. The whole Obama attacking Rand Paul and saying everybody loves the Patriot Act, you know, everybody loves to put cyanide in their Kool-Aid, everybody loves, you know, jumping off cliffs without parachutes, everybody loves, no, everybody doesn't love it. That's coming up. I'll get into incredible attacks on the Second Amendment. Infowars.com. It's red-linked right now. Obama announces draconian unconstitutional gun regs by executive fiat. And our story breaks down the full background and what they're planning. And to prove it's going on, we have it linked to the Hill that doesn't give you the full story. Infowars.com. Tweet that out. Facebook. Make it go viral. Joe Biggs, really hardworking, great reporter, was covering Maryland, Baltimore, covering Cleveland, and then demonstrations there on police shootings. And then he ran out to Phoenix to cover that. He was going to be here today, but a connection he has in the military committed suicide. He's there. He's trying to get there right now inside Texas. He's driving, or he may have gotten there now. I talked to him an hour ago. So he was going to come on about the Draw Muhammad contest and what happened there. Tyranny is in America. Anti-Muslim armed rally organizer says he's headed into hiding after getting death threats. I don't know what the former Marine thought was going to happen when he did this, but ISIS didn't show its ugly head at this event. And whether you think it's trolling Islam or not, folks, it is a First Amendment, so you have to support the right to exercise it. Joe Biggs was there. We can actually roll some background video from Infowars.com on the YouTube channel where he was 4 hours of it right there. But Joe Biggs, you want to tackle the First Amendment issue and this historic event in Phoenix, or do you want to get into 22 suicides in the military every day, an all-time record high? You add that to the don't treat list. It's just a true crisis.
Well, I'll get to the Draw the Profit event in Phoenix first. And one of the things that the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, well, the Second Amendment was huge in play in this event, is you have to look back at the acts at Charlie Hebdo. Now, these people don't have the right to carry, and they were essentially slaughtered. And I think, when the attack in Garland happened, we have the right to protect ourselves. The police officers were well armed. They neutralized the situation. And when they promoted this event in Phoenix, they said, hey, we're going to have open carry as well. So you think a couple lone wolf gunmen are going to show up to an event when there's upwards of 50 to 60 people packing assault rifles, handguns, Mossberg 500 shotguns, and they're going to cause something? No, because they know they're going to get taken down.
And let's be clear. I saw the chopper footage. It looked like about 500 people conservatively. You're saying about 60 of those were armed.
Yeah, on the side that I was on, because the police had split up both sides. They had the Muslim, pro-Muslim side on the side of where the mosque was, and then we were essentially pushed onto another side and separated. Now, both sides had peaceful people, and both sides had extreme people. There was a group of young Muslim men who were calling to gang rape some of the girls that were on the side that I was standing on. Now, that's not very peaceful.
Yeah, what is it about radicalism that it's into raping women? I see that all the time. Why do feminists promote that? I know feminists love radicalism. Why are they so into it?
I just don't understand it. I mean, the entire thing about feminism is to empower women. Rape completely degrades. I mean, that's wrong. So I don't get how that somehow crosses over into that whatsoever. But, I mean, I heard some vulgar stuff on both sides. And I can understand both sides. The side on the Muslim side, they said they had a sign that said F ISIS, but not Islam, which makes complete sense. You can't demonize an entire religion because of a few bad apples. Just like with Christianity, there's been some extreme people on that side as well. So a lot of people out there think that, because we're out there covering it, and I was supporting the Second Amendment by having my HD firearm on me, that I was basically trying to incite violence. Negative. The reason that we carried guns is because there was a legitimate threat that ISIS could come, and they had vowed to attack that area. I'm not going to be a victim, and I'm not going to let American lives be lost by a bunch of cowards who are just going to roll up and just start shooting people.
Well, Joe, you're defending the Republic now in America with that gun on your back, even more than when you were in Iraq and Afghanistan. So we salute your continued service as a servant to the Republic, so great job.
Thank you. I mean, it was a great show to show people across the world that when you have an armed society, there's going to be less things. It's like I went to the gun show last weekend. I flew back from Cleveland. I was in Austin for a day or so, right before the flooding happened, and then flew back to Cleveland. I went to a gun show. No one was killed. No one was shot. There was guns everywhere. People were carrying rifles. Everything was fine and peaceful. People were out there just wanting to buy weapons. Nothing happened. And just like the fact that we showed up to Phoenix with our gun, Nothing happened. People were able to demonstrate. People were able to protest peacefully. Yes,
that's right. The Second Amendment was there clearly defending the First. We'll be right back with Joe Biggs. I want to finish up with the Draw Prophet Muhammad demonstration that was really huge. And then we're going to get briefly into the mass suicides we see happening inside the U.S. military.
The Pentagon admits it accidentally sent a shipment of live anthrax to as many as 9 laboratories in the U.S. as well as a lab overseas. A CDC investigation of this mistake is underway, and at the time there is no known risk to the general public. The anthrax samples were shipped from an Army facility in Utah to government and commercial labs in Texas, Maryland, Wisconsin, Delaware, New Jersey, Tennessee, New York, California, and Virginia. The labs were working as part of a Pentagon effort to develop a new diagnostic test to identify biological threats in the environment. Dead or inactivated agents were expected, but one lab reports being able to grow live Bacillus anthracis. The safety failure comes on the heels of increased scrutiny of bioterror agents and their oversight around the country. Last June, more than 80 people may have been exposed to live anthrax when a CDC lab sent it by mistake. Leanne McAdoo reporting for Infowars.com.
Another major health threat, this one in Toledo, Ohio, where everybody in the entire city has been told not to drink the water.
Ohio's governor declaring a state of emergency.
Did you know that the average person uses about 80 to 100 gallons of water at home every single day? If there's a water emergency, will you be prepared?
Panicked residents forming long lines throughout the day.
We're here at a supermarket in Toledo. You can see the shelves empty where water once was.
To stay safe and healthy during a crisis, you must have access to safe, clean water. Water which will not be available at your local grocery store.
There's a mad dash on right now to stock up on supplies.
The ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system is a must-have for every modern, independently minded household. Protect your family's safety during an emergency. Go to InfoWarsStore.com today to purchase your ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system or call 1-888-253-3139.
Ladies and gentlemen, you haven't really ever heard firearms manufacturers as sponsors on my syndicated radio show or the nightly news or the news website, Infowars.com, because the companies I've been approached by were not the highest quality, and they weren't as affordable as they should be, so I refused probably 30, 40 firearms manufacturers over the years. Well then, about 6 months ago, we get contacted by Head Down Firearms, hdfirearms.com. Owned and run by a bunch of former Navy SEALs, special ops people. They're veterans, they're patriots, they're listeners of the radio show, and they want to support the broadcast. It's always about security, whether it's for yourself, your wife, your loved ones. Go to their website, hdfirearms.com. Buy right off their website, and they'll just send it to the FFL dealer of your choice. You can pick it up at the gun show, you can pick it up at the local sporting goods store. Whatever you do, get your Head Down firearm today. The spirit of 1776 lives at Head Down Firearms. hdfirearms.com. Introducing Secret 12, the new Infowars Life vitamin B12 formulation. Secret 12 is a binary of nutrimedical grade, bioavailable coenzyme forms of B12, methylcobalamin, the same kind used in B12 injections, and adenosylcobalamin. Secret 12 is simply taken by mouth, right on the tongue, and then swallowed. No needles, no injections. Secure your revolutionary Secret 12 formula right now at InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139. Alex Jones here. For the last 2 years, I've been working with top doctors, nutritionists, and chemists to design a nutraceutical formulation that has truly life-changing health benefits. Introducing the all-new Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Blend. Experience the benefits of combining over 14 ancient herbs and extracts with exciting new advances in nutraceutical science. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139. That's InfoWarsLife.com.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show. He aligns himself with the truth, and it's time for you to choose a side. You're listening to Alex Jones.
Alex Jones here, back live. No calls today because I have a lot of news I want to get to. Tomorrow, weekday. We will take calls 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central. A lot of really informative big guests coming up this week as well, so be sure and join us for the weekday transmission. Again, I want to thank all of the affiliates out there that pick up the broadcast. It shows that America is still alive and kicking, that a show like this can be on over 170 AM and FM stations, that cable and TV stations, without even really asking, are already picking up our video feeds and carrying it around the country. It is a blessing. It is humbling, so I thank you all for your support. I don't want folks to think I'm arrogant. I'm bold in my fight against the globalists, because that's what it takes to get people out of their trance and to lead folks. And it's bold to see 60-something people armed out of 500-plus folks demonstrating for the First Amendment when 2 men from a mosque went to a free speech event in Garland, Texas, and tried to kill people in cold blood, including police who were just there to provide security under orders. It's good to stand up against that. Now, are some of the folks filled with hate for radical Islam? Certainly. Or Islam in general? Yes. Am I somebody that wants to wage war against Muslim countries and destabilize their countries and put ISIS in control? No, that's our government doing that. I don't want the clash of civilizations. I don't want the war with Islam. But that's where all this is going. Joe Biggs finishing up on your 4 hours of live coverage Friday night that was excellent, as hundreds of thousands tuned in just to watch the streams alone. Other points you want to add, then I want to shift gears into the sad errand you're on today.
Yeah, so like we said earlier, the Second Amendment really helped protect the First Amendment in this event. And it showed that other countries need to kind of take on that American spirit, that spirit, the fact that to be able to arm yourself, that deters other people who want to do harm. That shows what we did in Phoenix, coming out there armed, and everyone still was able to peacefully protest, yet there was no ISIS attack. They always look for cowards. ISIS looks for weak spots. That was not a weak target. That was not a soft target. We made it very hard for something like that to happen. And I have to commend the police in that area, too, as well, because the last threat from ISIS was that your guns are not going to be able to stop us. They said no rounds, even though you guys are able to open carry in a lot of states, that will not stop our fighters. And what that means is that the idea of they were going to use most likely a VBIED, a vehicle-borne improvised explosive device. Now, would the cops not had any vets and known what that meant like I did? Because when I showed up, I was like, man, I hope there's no big road where a vehicle could drive up, park, and set off a huge car bomb. Because I would have taken out both Muslims, Christians, Catholics, whoever was out there. It would have wiped out a whole lot of people. And the police probably had a veteran on their side who had the experience that I did. So when I showed up, there was no way within a mile to get close and bring a vehicle to that event. So that stopped that threat. And the fact that then we had armed citizens out there protecting people's rights to be able to speak, that stopped that ISIS threat.
And ISIS had said it was national news they were going to attack the event, and we know ISIS has been allowed into the country. They've been allowed to recruit inside the United States. That's how they're different than their father, Al-Qaeda, is that was pretty much a synthetic threat unless you were in country. This is a real multi-100,000-person organization that is being allowed to recruit by the West. Joe Biggs, how big was it? If you're a new listener, you can just search engine Defense Intelligence documents, Judicial Watch. West created Al-Qaeda and ISIS, used them against Syria. How big is it that somebody leaked that from the military to Judicial Watch, and now it's admitted what we already knew, that the West is actually funding radical Islam to take over the Middle East?
Well, yeah, they wanted to destabilize the Assad regime. It was about 2 years ago when Obama was trying to ask for permission to be able to go into Syria, and it was denied. And what happened? They had to create this Frankenstein. They had to make a bad guy to be able to go in and do that. So that's how ISIS was born. ISIS was born from the fact that our government is so greedy, they wanted to take out someone else. They wanted to put in one of their Western puppets to take over that area so they can get one step closer to their end game, which I believe is Iran. They want to move closer and closer and take out those areas around there so they can eventually get their bases, their planes in there, and take out that area. But these guys have created the problem. And like I've said time and time again, I've got a lot of friends in the Air Force who do airdrops, and they are on target. Now, the only way that you can actually drop these supplies, I highly doubt that these Air Force pilots who are making these drops knowingly dropped them in the hands of ICE if they were lying.
Sure, they're told, it's come out in the Iraqi government, they're told to drop at one spot, they're told it's the Kurds or whatever, and really it's Al-Qaeda.
Exactly. So they're given wrong coordinations, they're given wrong coordinates to drop those. You know, like, hey, these are going to go to the rebels, these are going to go to the guys who are going to fight ISIS. And then we see all these videos on YouTube Live Leak, on the news, where you see ISIS fighters holding American weapons, American grenades, American ammunition. You know, that's what's out of control.
Well, Joe, this is jumping the sharks, though, because it was the military 2 years ago that said no to an air war to take out Assad for Al-Qaeda that became ISIS. So I think they've really gone too far in that the elites think they can fund Al-Qaeda and ISIS to murder every Christian they find, turn the world over to them, and that our own military isn't going to wake up. They're gravely mistaken. Joe, finishing up, tell us about why you couldn't be here in studio with us today, because it shines a light and personalizes what's happening to our military.
Well, I've lost my second friend in the Army to suicide now in the past 2.5 months. A buddy of mine yesterday shot himself, and he was struggling with depression. And as we've talked about, I've done a few reports in Austin. We don't have the greatest health care with the VA. We don't have the greatest care. And they've put in this Watson, this IBM program named after the Holler's machine that killed tons of people, millions of Jews, you know, homosexuals, gypsies, all these people.
Well, let's be clear. We're not joking. They have IBM machines that decide not to treat U.S. veterans, even if you're healthy. They just decide you don't get treatment. And so you can't get treatment for what's wrong with you, coughing up blood, all the other stuff. You're saying that was connected to your friend?
It has to be, because this is someone, like, when him and I would meet, we would have in-depth conversations, and it would kind of help him, it would help me. It would be therapy for the both of us. And I've been working on some, some projects as well with people dealing with PTSD, trying to reach out to veterans and let them know that there's other people out there that are going through the exact same thing as them. And I've done some videos, and I've talked with people, and this was one of the guys that was part of that. And I would speak to him on a daily basis, and, you know, many times we both kind of break down and cry, because we both dealt with a lot of the same depression, a lot of the same being sent to these pointless wars to fight for something that was all a lie. And that's where that depression sets in. To know that you went out and you fought for your country, and then your country lied to you. The fact that you went out there and you fought and you watched your brother and sister die beside you and were murdered because of a lie. So
well, sure. Plus, these Watson computers are already saying don't give these veterans treatment. Robots then are already killing humans right now, not just autonomous drones. Robots are already killing humans, and it's the Thomas Watson computer named after the guy that gave Hitler the computers to sit there and decide who lived and died. I mean, you can't make this up, Joe.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what people don't understand. There is a real war on against veterans in this country, and a lot of people think it's BS. They think, oh, you know, you guys are just being really extreme about it. I mean, it's not extreme. You know, I've already had 5 of my appointments with the VA to have my foot that's been mangled looked at, and I keep getting a letter in the mail every 2 weeks saying that appointment's been
Let's be clear,
canceled.
Joe. You were blown up in 2 different IEDs. You've got pins and stuff all over your leg, and it was done, you know, in the battlefield. It has to be redone. They will not give you the treatment you need. We're going to cover this more when you get back tomorrow, the next day, or take a day off with your friends. I know you had to drive two hours away because you've been working about 14 days straight. But Joe Begg's great job. We'll talk to you on Tuesday, and just get some R&R. Thank you for going out to spend time with the family, and God bless you.
Thank you, Alex.
Really is sick, folks. The government and the media says they love troops all day, and they use veterans, our archetypal warriors. Whether the wars are good or bad, doesn't matter. These are our warriors. At an archetypal, instinctive level, we support them. They use them to sell the whole agenda, but then these cowardly globalists hate our veterans because they're real men, so then they're busy screwing them every chance they get. It's sick. Alex Jones here with an InfoWarsLife.com Consumer Alert Report. Many of you are aware that around the world, most populations are woefully deficient in clean forms of iodine. The good news is our listeners over the past 2 years tried X2 nascent iodine and experienced it for themselves. The bad news is, for the first time in more than a year, supplies at InfoWarsLife.com of Survival Shield X2 nascent iodine are running low. But what's even
even more serious is the supply of these deep earth crystals. That exclusive 999 pure source is proprietary and only available to InfoWarsLife.com. And that supply is running low and is in question. That's why it's more important than ever to secure your current and long-time supply of Survival Shield Nascent Iodine X2 today. Available exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. Ladies and gentlemen, you haven't really ever heard firearms manufacturers as sponsors on my syndicated radio show or the nightly news or the news website, Infowars.com, because the companies I've been approached by were not the highest quality, and they weren't as affordable as they should be, so I refused probably 30, 40 firearms manufacturers over the years. Well then, about 6 months ago, we get contacted by Head Down Firearms, hdfirearms.com. Owned and run by a bunch of former Navy SEALs, special ops people. They're veterans, they're patriots, they're listeners of the radio show, and they want to support the broadcast. It's always about security, whether it's for yourself, your wife, your loved ones. Go to their website, hdfirearms.com. Buy right off their website, and they'll just send it to the FFL dealer of your choice. You can pick it up at the gun show, you can pick it up at the local sporting goods store. Whatever you do, get your Head Down firearm today. The spirit of 1776 lives at Head Down Firearms. hdfirearms.com. Introducing Secret 12, the new Infowars Life vitamin B12 formulation. Secret 12 is a binary of nutrimedical grade, bioavailable coenzyme forms of B12, methylcobalamin, the same kind used in B12 injections, and adenosylcobalamin. Secret 12 is simply taken by mouth, right on the tongue, and then swallowed. No needles, no injections. Secure your revolutionary Secret 12 formula right now at InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139. Alex Jones here. For the last 2 years, I've been working with top doctors, nutritionists, and chemists to design a nutraceutical formulation that has truly life-changing health benefits. Introducing the all-new Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Blend. Experience the benefits of combining over 14 ancient herbs and extracts with exciting new advances in nutraceutical science. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139. That's InfoWarsLife.com. InfoWarsLife.com. Check it out today. I have set out to bring you the most hardcore, cutting-edge supplements and nutraceuticals, bar none. And that's what you'll find at InfoWarsLife.com. We have rejected literally hundreds of products from the InfoWars Life line because they are not of the very highest quality, or because they're not 100% organic, or because they don't pass all of the strictest toxicology tests there are that we have listed at InfoWarsLife.com. Whether it's Survival Shield Nascent Iodine or DNA Force, Super Male Vitality, Super Female Vitality, Lung Cleanse, Fluoride Shield, Oxy Powder. I believe that all of these products will blow you away like they've done the thousands of other customers that have visited InfoWarsLife.com and believed in us and tried the products. Folks, check out InfoWarsLife.com today and the entire line of groundbreaking, cutting-edge, hardcore products.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
Lies. We're about to hear some of Obama's lies. Lies. Bad news, folks. They're voting in the Senate.
Leading a frontal assault
the folks
on the
that carried on
lies
9/11.
of the New World Order. It's Alex Jones.
We're on a mission you'll never forget. To warn the people of the planet. Go ahead and reauthorize your Patriot Act, scum. You notice we're on the march. We'll never relent. We'll never back off. And just like Monsanto and McDonald's are falling right now, all of your institutions will fall when we're done with you. And it doesn't matter what you do to me. Ideas are bulletproof. Humanity will transcend you. We're designed to do it. In fact, your attack will only make us stronger. To quote Nietzsche. What is the vote? 76 to 15 or something right now. They're about to finish voting in the Senate to limit debate and try to stop Senator Rand Paul from blocking it tonight when they try to sneak the vote to reauthorize the Patriot Act through. And we've got a full court press by mainstream traitor media, corporate globalist propaganda, Tokyo Rose wannabes, going, it just protects the Constitution, it just gives you freedom, it keeps terrorists from blowing you up, just let us spy on you and put microchips and everything to track everything you're doing. The government loves you. Do you want free health care? Just do what we say, even though it triples your prices. Just never mind that. Just give us your guns. Just give us the gas. We spare your lives. To quote the Road Warrior, the 80s one that was good, not the new one. The great humongous has graciously said that if you open the gates and let us in, we will spare your lives. Just give us the gas. We spare your lives. That sounds reasonable. I think we can talk to humongous. He will work with us. That's what the public's doing here. Did you get your free health care? Did you get your goodies? No, you didn't. The globalists want to conquer the planet to then control all the fruits of human development for themselves, not for humanity. They are horrible. There is an epic battle going on for the future of the species now. You're living in a real, hardcore, 3- and 4th dimensional science fiction movie. It's incredible. It's bigger than ESPN. It's bigger than acting cool in front of your friends. It's bigger than Botox injections. It's big. It's as big as the universe. And I'm tuned into that, so they call me eccentric. Then I am. Let's go to Obama's lies, though, from his little this week address. And I'm not even going to sit there till the end. I will write the lies down. There's so many I won't be able to, but I had a pen in here. Can I have another pen? All I have is highlighters. Thanks. Somebody stole my pens. I'm going to go over. Thank you, sir. Let's just play the 3-minute clip, and then I'll come back and go over the lies. Here is, according to Jamie Foxx, our Lord and Savior, Barack Obama.
Hi, everybody. As President and Commander-in-Chief, my greatest responsibility is the safety of the American people. And in our fight against terrorists, we need to use every effective tool at our disposal. Why you funded ISIS. Both to defend our security and to protect the freedoms and civil liberties enshrined in our Constitution. But tomorrow, Sunday at midnight, some important tools we use against terrorists will expire. That's because Congress has not renewed them, and because legislation that would, the USA Freedom Act, is stuck in the Senate.
Freedom Act.
I want to be very clear about what this means. Today, when investigating terrorist networks, our national security professionals can seek a court order to obtain certain business records. Our law enforcement professionals can seek a roving wiretap.
They use that word professional like it.
When they switch cell phones.
Just call Sandusky a professional.
A wiretap on so-called lone wolves, suspected terrorists who may not be directly tied to a terrorist group. These
like
tools
you funding
are not
Al-Qaeda.
Controversial. Since 9/11, they've been renewed numerous times. FBI Director James Comey says they are essential and that losing them would severely impact terrorism.
Didn't stop one terror attack, FBI.
But if Congress doesn't act by midnight tomorrow, these tools go away. The USA Freedom Act also accomplishes something I...
Back it up. This is the guy that erased the southern border and pays to bring illegals in. I mean... But again, his supporters can't even hardly talk. All they do is cash welfare checks. So it's like, game over, man. Game over. The country's zombies, dude. There it is. Washington Times. FBI admits no major cases cracked with Patriot Act snooping powers. Let's go back to the kleptocrat, congenital liar-in-chief. Here it is.
Terrorism investigations.
Oh, yeah.
But if Congress doesn't act by midnight tomorrow, these tools go away. The USA Freedom Act also accomplishes something I called for a year and a half ago. It ends the bulk metadata program, the bulk collection of phone records, as it currently exists, and puts in place new reforms. the government will no longer hold these records.
Hit pause.
Telephone.
Total lie. They call it metadata. They record all the phone calls, everything. They built giant spy centers everywhere. Obama has accelerated everything. I mean, it's just like everything he says is a lie. It's like when he said, I'm going to stop militarization of police, when he's tripled the funding for it. And then you read, oh, I'm federalizing them, but they still get everything. Let's go back to the clip.
Providers will. The act also includes other changes to our surveillance laws, including more transparency, to help build confidence among the American people that your privacy and civil liberties are being protected. But if Congress doesn't act by...
Parallel construction with the DEA for decades creates fake court cases with illegally gained data and fake announcements and fake filings on how they got the evidence with fake informants, because it's all really from computers and phone records and recordings. I mean, it's all a manifest, premeditated fraud with this con man there preying on his mindless idiot supporters. Let's go back to it.
Tomorrow at midnight, these reforms will be in jeopardy as well.
Oh, no.
It doesn't have to be this way. The USA Freedom Act reflects ideas from privacy advocates, our private sector partners, and our national security experts. It already passed the House of Representatives with overwhelming bipartisan support, Republicans and Democrats. That doesn't happen very often. A majority of the Senate, Republicans and Democrats have...
By the way, in 2011, he signed an authorization of the same Patriot Act. So his claim that he was against it when he ran for office, then he went ahead and went for it. I mean, I'm just documenting lies here. Let's continue.
Voted to move it forward. So what's the problem?
Hit pause.
A small...
Back it up. He's like, listen, the pedophiles that we stabled and trained and hired when they got busted at high schools, that's why most of them are either lawyers or pedophiles from high schools that got caught raping kids. He's like, listen, we spent a lot of time hiring and promoting a bunch of pedophiles that we can destroy anytime we want up there, and they're all for passing it. So the problem is we got a few senators that aren't pedophiles and a few House members that aren't pedophiles that we can't destroy right away. So we're trying, though. Don't worry. And they're the reason we haven't passed this. In fact, let's go back to the clip.
Republicans and Democrats. That doesn't happen very often. A majority of the Senate, Republicans and Democrats, have voted to move it forward. So what's the problem? A small group of senators
who aren't
pedophiles standing in the way. And unfortunately, some folks are trying to use this debate to score political points. But this shouldn't and can't be about politics.
Oh, no.
This is a matter of national security.
Oh.
Terrorists like Al-Qaeda and ISIL aren't suddenly going to stop plotting against us at midnight tomorrow.
Oh, no.
And we shouldn't surrender
as you airdrop them weapons.
Keep us safe. It would be irresponsible. It would be reckless.
Yes.
We shouldn't allow it to happen. So today I'm calling on Americans to join me in speaking with one voice to the Senate. Put the politics aside.
Gang rapists. We want Big Brother. We love Big Brother. Spy on us.
Pass the USA Freedom Act now.
Put cameras in our toilets.
Let's protect the security and civil liberties of every American. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much. I'm here to gang rape you. Again, he says you protect the Constitution by passing this. That's inverted reality. Same talking point on CNN. They say the FBI needs us to protect you. The FBI admits never stopped any terrorism. They keep using the word sycophantically professionals. George W. Bush would look like he was about to have an orgasm every time that happened. While we're busy dealing with this, folks, Kit Daniels' article's on Infowars.com. It ties into the Hill article. Administration preps new gun regulations. They're going to, outside of law, say you can't own guns. They're going to use misdemeanor gun crimes to ban you from owning guns. You know, if you're just caught with a gun in the wrong spot. They're going to ban 223, 556 gun shows. They're coming outside of law to just have the president announce, because he's Lord and Savior, that he can take our guns. That's it. See you back tomorrow, Lord willing, 11 a.m. Central, Infowars.com. Great job, crew. Introducing Secret 12, the new Infowars Life vitamin B12 formulation. Secret 12 is a binary of nutramedical grade, bioavailable coenzyme forms of B12. Methylcobalamin, the same kind used in B12 injections, and adenosylcobalamin. Secret 12 is simply taken by mouth, right on the tongue, and then swallowed. No needles, no injections. Secure your revolutionary Secret 12 formula right now at InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.
Alex Jones here. For the last 2 years, I've been working with top doctors, nutritionists, and chemists to design a nutraceutical formulation that has truly life-changing health benefits. Introducing the all-new Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Blend. Experience the benefits of combining over 14 ancient herbs and extracts with exciting new advances in nutraceutical science. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139. That's InfoWarsLife.com. Alex Jones here with an InfoWarsLife.com Consumer Alert Report. Many of you are aware that around the world, most populations are woefully deficient in clean forms of iodine. The good news is our listeners over the past 2 years tried X2 nascent iodine and experienced it for themselves. The bad news is, for the first time in more than a year, supplies at InfoWarsLife.com of Survival Shield X2 nascent iodine are running low. But what's even more serious is the supply of these deep earth crystals. That exclusive 999 pure source is proprietary and only available to InfoWarsLife.com. And that supply is running low and is in question. That's why it's more important than ever to secure your current and long-time supply of Survival Shield Nascent Iodine X2 today. Available exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.